I'm back. Sorry for the hiatus, guys. I actually got marked as a pattern day trader, which is why the video stopped. But now that I'm back, I'm hoping that the limit of 3 day trades per week is going to make my channel more relatable to my audience, because you do have to have a minimum of $25,000 to have unlimited trades. And a lot of people don't have that. So by being limited to 3 day trades a week, I think it's going to make me more relatable, like I said, because I'm going to have to diligently choose the 3 trades for the week. And hopefully together we can see some gains. And this week I'm just going to be reviewing my last 3 day trades for the week, which I've already used up. And I'm hoping that the future, we see some green days. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope that I can be consistent with these uploads and try to upload at least 2 times a week. So stay tuned. Going into 2019, I realized that I really should be keeping track of my trades, so I went ahead and made an Excel sheet. And the trades that I made for this week so far are SQQQ, DGAS, and Yen, and that resulted in a gain of $358 for SQQQ, and then a loss of $3.60 for DGAS, and a loss of $108 for Yen, resulting in a weekly gain of $246.08. And then here you have my Robinhood account just to verify those trades. Right here we have Yen, which is the bullish ETF, and then DGAS, which is another ETF, and SQQQ, which is another ETF. So let's go ahead and look at the charts. So SQQQ and the other 3 ETFs that I traded, which were DGAS and Yen, are all 3 times leveraged ETFs. So what that means is that they are 3 times as exposed or reactive to their respective ETF. So in the case of SQQQ, it follows the NASDAQ ETF, which is QQQ. So it's pretty intuitive. The S stands for short. And the reason that I chose to trade these ETFs is because I have a broker, which is Robinhood, that doesn't allow you to short stocks unless you're option trading, which I don't do. So this is a great alternative for those of you that use Robinhood to short the markets, especially with the volatility that we've been seeing lately. And going off of that, the reason that I decided to trade 3 times leveraged ETFs is because of that volatility, because I want to take advantage of that and try to make as much money as I can. At the same time, because it is 3 times reactive, you can lose 3 times as much as whatever you're trading or whatever index you're following. So definitely something to be aware of and very careful with. So the reason that I traded SQQQ is because the NASDAQ for the last couple of days has been trading up pretty aggressively, and it was definitely bound or ready for a pullback. So this is its direct inverse of SQQQ, the stock the ETF that I traded is TQQQ. So it's a bullish ETF for the NASDAQ. So it's betting on the NASDAQ to continue going up. And if it does, that's when we see the price go up. So opposite of that would be SQQQ. If the NASDAQ goes up, this ETF goes up. Or rather, if the NASDAQ goes up, then this ETF will go down. And if it goes down, then this one will go up. It's kind of confusing, but I hope that I explained that well. And the reason that I traded SQQQ is because I was looking at its inverse, and let's look at the 1 day, 1 minute, 4 day, since I traded it a day ago. Okay, let's look at it here. So it closed the previous day on Monday, 2 days ago, at $39.60, around that area. Then it gapped up in the morning during pre-market hours, and what I was waiting to see is whether or not it was going to keep up with this upward momentum, and it didn't. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. So I saw that it was trying to make new highs. It was getting rejected right here. All of the buyers were getting met with the exact amount of sellers, and it kept just going down, shot back up, got rejected, shot down, found some support, So at this point, I was still unsure, right? Because it's continuing this trend that it had during the pre-market hours of bouncing off of my blue EMAs. And what I like to see here, though, was that it was starting to make lower highs. As you can see here, these candles here are slowly going lower and lower. And it finally broke below a support level. So it wasn't making higher levels of support anymore. This last candle was the last level of support that it showed, and it broke below that. So let's go ahead and zoom out. So once it broke below this candle right here, I really started getting interested in looking at the SQQQ, or the short ETF. So the TQQQ, or the bullish ETF, it breaking below this support is equivalent to this, the short, breaking above this resistance. So when it did that, it really caught my eye, and I ended up picking up some shares here, and I bought them for a total of $14.92. That was my average buy-in, and the reason being is that I wanted to see it break above this resistance that it had during the pre-market hours of $15.02, which it met. It met this resistance as I predicted during the first push up during the early mornings of the market open, and then sold off, but it found support here, right? You guys see this? It found support here, started to trend back up, and it found support above this blue VWAP, which is the middle VWAP. I just colored it that color, but it found support there, so I picked up some shares here at $14.92 was my average buy-in, and then I ended up selling at $15.22, which gave me an average return of $385, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, $358, excuse me, $358. So ideally, I should have let this run for a little bit longer. The reason being that the bullish ETF was likely not going to be finding any support until the previous support of the previous day. So as you can see here, the previous day it had some resistance and support here, and that's exactly where it found it the day that I traded it. But I knew that reversal was coming, so I just wanted to get rid of my shares, which is the SQQQ up here, and I ended up selling a little bit early, but you know what, it doesn't matter. I ended up making some nice profits, so can't complain. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next trade, which was DGAS. Let me just confirm that it was DGAS. Oh, this hasn't been. Oh, I just realized I've been recording without this floating the entire time. Let me just go ahead and fix that. Float on top. Okay, perfect. So, DGAS. Traded that for a loss of $3.60. Inverse of DGAS is UGAS. And the reason that I traded it today was that during the pre-market hours, I saw this nice support, this nice push up, as you can see here, bouncing off of this purple EMA. And so I ended up buying some shares here at let me check my entry. At $119 with 2 cents, which is my average buy-in, which is around this area right here. And so I was hoping to sell around $122, hoping to see it break above this resistance here and make a new high and sell around this area for a nice 2.5–3% gain. But unfortunately that didn't happen, and it sold off. And yeah, I just, I wanted to cut my losses. I didn't want to risk losing any money, and yeah, that's the end of that one. Let's go into yen. Again, all of these are 3 times leveraged ETFs. So yen has its respective inverse, which is yang, and these are Chinese ETFs, and they follow the Hong Kong indexes for the 50 most liquid companies in the Hong Kong index. So let's go ahead and look at the 1 day, 1 minute. Okay, that's good. And see why I decided to trade yen. So yen, I unfortunately got kind of juked out from this one. I definitely could have made some nice profit off of this, but my entry was a little bit early, and my stop loss ended up getting executed. And yeah, so I ended up buying at an average price of $18.95. So the reason being that I saw it gap up in the morning, just how I had previously seen with the U.S. Indexes the day before. So I saw it gap up, and I saw that it had made this resistance during the pre-market hours at $18.90. So as you can see, the previous day it closed at $18.10 around that area, and then pre-market hours just shoots right up. And what I liked is that it immediately broke above that high that it made during the pre-market hours, and then was finding support, above my blue EMAs and above the blue VWAP. So it was seeming pretty bullish, and I was really happy about that. So I picked up some shares at $18.95, which is right here in this area. Since as you can see right here, it was bouncing off of the blue EMAs. So I expected it to bounce around this area. That's why I bought at an average buy-in price of $18.95. So I set my stop loss for the break below this blue VWAP. So, oh shoot, what happened? The break below this blue VWAP right here. So my entry was here in this area right here, had this low here. And so I was hoping that, it was going to keep pushing up, make a new high. It didn't. And so that's why seeing it in live time, I decided to cut my losses at the break below this last area of support, which was at $18.86. I ended up getting filled at $18.84. And, unfortunately for me, it sold off and then found support here, which was the support during the pre-market hours, right here, the last support. So I think I should have been a little bit more patient with my entry, or averaged down my entry. I ended up going all in at $18.95, which is why I had to, just cut my losses, take that $100 loss. And, after it bounced here, it pushed up pretty nicely for the rest of the day. As you can see here, made a high of $19.47. So from my entry point, had I held it, I would have made a decent amount of money. But, I think I made the right decision, because based off of my entry point, I wasn't going to risk losing like $200, $300 just to make $300. Like the risk to reward ratio, I never wanted to be 1-to-1. I always wanted to be at least, 2-to-1, 3-to-1 ideally. And so, yeah, cut my losses, and not disappointed with the trade at all. I think I made the right call. So that's it for this video. Those are all the trades for the week. I'm not sure if I'll be making any swing trades, like I said, because the market is so volatile in both the Chinese and U.S. markets, which is what I'm really looking at right now. I don't want to take the risk of swing trading and then having something gap down or up, depending on if I'm shorting or going long, which would greatly affect me. So I'll probably not make any swing trades this week. So that's why I think I'm going to call it a week. If I do, I'll update you guys. And then hopefully next week I can make some solid day trades with the 3 trades that I'll have back. So yeah, thanks for tuning back in, guys. For those of you guys who made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. I hope that they help you as well, just as much as they help me. and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.